What's going on? We're back into the world of Dokkan, and today we're going to be looking at the most annoying things when it comes to this game. Granted, I like the game. It's a good game. I've been playing it for 4 years, for God's sake. If I didn't like it, I don't think I'd still be playing it. But there are some really annoying things when it comes to this game, and I feel like a lot of them could just be remediated by just some small quality of life updates or just some different decisions in terms of what the practice is. But I think for this list, I'd say half are kind of like programming decisions and things they should just update for better practice and easier use for users. And then the other half, the bulk of the things, are probably like game decisions and different things that I think they could improve upon and make better. But without further ado, let's get straight into this with the top 10 most annoying things in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So, number 10, I'd have to say, is probably the fact that there are some events still that do not have category farming. And I feel like every event should just have category farming because it's so much easier. It's so much more time efficient. You get lucky sometimes. You can get, 3 runs. You get everything you need in terms of SA. And then when it comes to orbs, you kind of can get lucky there too in terms of, bonuses and not taking as much time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nanogenics made a video about this recently where he was complaining about the Bulma event, the Tech Bulma event, where it has no category bonus. You have to farm all the copies of Bulma without any category bonus. You have to then go farm her orbs without any category bonus. And it just takes so much more time, and it is so much more annoying because now you have to deal with farming the card, then going and farming the orbs, and take into consideration Awakening Medal. So it's just so much farming, and it's so annoying. And when there's other events that literally can drop like 7 copies of a card or an Awakening Medal, it's just the disparity is way too large. I feel like they should just say, listen, if there's no category for some events, just make it a default category of like all free-to-play cards or something like that, and just have it as that category, just so you get a better chance of getting items and getting cards. You don't waste a million years just farming some unit. Alright, so for this next one, this is kind of like a programming choice they should probably update, and that is in regards to the missing nodes genjutsu in the dupe system. So the dupe system actually was updated once before in a quality of life update, which was pretty damn good. Before, you used to have to click every single node in order to awaken all paths of the dupe path. Now you just click one node all the way at the end and everything else gets autofilled. But you still run into situations where you're missing one node or missing a few nodes and you're like, where is this node? Like, you can't see it. It's so hard to see. I'm sitting there with a magnifying glass trying to figure out where this missing node is. And basically, I feel like they should add something where it's like a toggle or something where like a missing node is either highlighted or it just shows you some indication that, hey, I'm over here, or an SOS signal, anything, or even just have something where, similar to what they did with the last update where you click one node and it does all the other ones automatically. They should probably have something where you click something and it does the entire bottom right automatically or the entire top left automatically, just to save time and just make it less annoying. And now for this next one, again, this is a very simple, I'd say this is probably the simplest fix they could do, and that is change the category order to be an alphabetical order or some order in the category order when selecting teams. Now, on Global, this isn't the end of the world. Global, it's really annoying. Every time there's a update, sometimes the category for these teams actually update and they get moved around. They look different. But on JP, that must be hell on earth because I played JP and I'm sitting there clicking buttons. Is this the category? Is this the category? Is this category? No. And usually what I do is I go to the subreddit and someone actually makes a post showing the category. Now, here's a crazy thing. I'm going to say this. They don't have to do this, but this be crazy. If they actually showed logos, as you can see in this picture, hey, the Shadow Dragons, there's Omega. Hey, the Fusion category, there's Gogeta. Just something that it's easier to see the icon than to read every single piece of text. But at the bare minimum, I feel like they should use, I'm assuming they're using like a hash map for all these different values or something that doesn't maintain order. Use a linked hash map to maintain order, or use like a tree map to have like an alphabetical order. Something that keeps it consistent and constant so that I don't have to go to the subreddit and be like, oh, where is this category? It's really annoying and it's really time consuming for something so simple. Alright, so for this one, this is kind of like a farming wet dream of mine. I would really, really like it that if you have a unit that has a 100% chance to raise SA, just let us feed copies into that unit and do the bulk SA raise. So the way Dokkan is, Dokkan will only let you raise the SA of a character, say 100%, by using individual copies. So if I want to raise, say for example, Super Saiyan 3 Tech Broly's SA, I have to farm 9 copies of 5 Broly, awaken them, Dokkan awaken them, then further awaken them to Super Saiyan 3 5 Broly, I have to do that 9 times. I cannot just do 9 copies into the one Broly, put it into the Super Saiyan 3 Broly, boom, bam, done. Granted, this is going to be a lot less time farming, a lot less resources spent. I feel like it would be a pretty good quality of life update, and people do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. I'll spend the resources. Is it annoying? Yes, but it's saving Kai. Save Kai lives. But I feel like this is an update that should be done because it saves time and resources, and it just makes it easier and funner and less time-consuming to do. Alright, so for this one, I don't know if this is a bug or just the game choice, but I really think they should change it, and that is having the first attacker be the actual first attacker when it's in the first item slot or the first character slot. So the way Dokkan is like, say if you have like AGL Birder or World Tournament AGL Vegito in the first slot, their passive does not activate until they actually attack. So say if you have 3 or 4 enemies attacking in the first slot before you get to attack, your passive is null and void. Your passive does not activate. It only activates after you attack. So for Vegito, that sucks because he gets defense plus 100%. So if he doesn't get his attack, he has no defense. He's getting hit super hard. And with Birder, he's not going to have the higher chance to evade. I feel like they should just make that change so that when you're in the first slot, as soon as the attack phase starts, you have your passive. You have a higher chance to either dodge, have your defense up, whatever it is. And it'll make it more likely that I'll run these units because I won't have to worry about this genjutsu where if someone's attacking me first, I'm going to get hit super hard and their passive is going to be worthless. I feel like they should just make that update so these characters have more viability in teams. Alright, so for this next one, I would really appreciate this if they could just show you passive information during turn. Now, a lot of people in the subreddit have made suggestions in terms of, hey, maybe you could show this passive active or that passive of the part of it is active, or just have little different notifications to let you know what is and isn't active for a passive. But I feel like they should just have some generic notification in turn, during the turn, just to say, hey, this person has their passive active or not active. Something, just some type of notification to demarcate that their passive may not be active. Or maybe just have some notification to say that their passive is different and that it's not what you think it is. Alright, so for this one, this would be an amazing quality of life update, and that would be giving players the opportunity to farm portal memory keys. Now, I understand why they made the portal memories, and I understand why they kind of segregated. If you paid attention to when there was a million Dokkan events in Dokkan, the list of Dokkan events actually nuke whatever service they use. Like, if you scroll through the portal memories, you'll notice it's significantly slower than if you were to go to, like, Growth tab and look through the events. And that's because they're using some type of list structure, some type of structure that can't handle a lot of entries. And I guess they made the portal memories just to lower the amount of requests to their server, because that shit probably nukes that service. But I feel like they should definitely give players the opportunity to farm these keys, even if it's like a once daily event, something like, Training in the Clouds. You have an opportunity to get, maybe 3 of each portal memory key, something. Because right now you don't get it at all. You get it either as a sign-in bonus or you get it as a mission bonus, but you cannot farm them. I feel like it'd be good if you were able to farm them because it would make the game a lot more fun and easier to farm certain events and do events that you may have missed in the past. It would be a great quality of life update. So I think at the very least they should give you an opportunity to get some keys. If not a crazy farm, then just something. Something to say that I can make a surplus of keys. Alright, here's the top 3, and for number 3 I actually have 3 things associated with it because this is in regards to the friend system. And that would be, first of all, I would really like it if they added a system where you can immediately replay a stage with the same exact friend. So games like Naruto Blazing already have this, where you go into a stage with Madara, you beat the event, you come out, boom, you click replay, you replay the event with the same friend. That would be extremely time efficient, and it would actually be really cool because you could play with the same friend over and over again. And now, again, in line with this friend system, it would be really great if you were able to play with a friend more than once per day. So, right now in Dokkan, if you play with your friend Joe, say you go play a stage with Joe, you get done with the event, you can now cannot play with Joe for the next day. So, say you can have like X amount of friends per day. Say if you played with all your friends in one day, you now are forced to play with guests and you can't play with your friends, which is kind of dumb. And I kind of wish you were able to just play with whatever friend as many times as possible because it's not that OP. It's not like, oh my god, they're using their friend. Look at all those 100 friend points. Holy shit. Who cares? Just let us play with our friends. I feel like it's something they could update and make it more fun. And now, another thing with the friend system that I think they can add and would make the game a lot better is having a true friend list reset. And what I mean by that is if you go into Dokkan, you go to the friends list section, you can click reset or refresh multiple times, and you'll see that the list gets reset and refreshed. But if you keep clicking, you'll realize that it is pulling from the same pool of characters or people, and really isn't refreshing after a certain point in time. And now, in order to get around this in the game, there's a workaround where you can go into the stage with some random guest or friend, quit the stage, or finish the stage, and then go back to whatever stage, and then click refresh and reset, and you will now see that there's a new pool of friends that you can choose from. And I feel like this is something that they could just add a button, do the same exact thing, where it does a hard refresh. So maybe just have it a separate button or separate functionality where you click reset, it does a longer reset, it gets the new set of friends, and you don't have to go into a stage, quit it, and come back just to find a new group of friends. I feel like that's something that would be a lot more beneficial, and I'm doing it anyway, so you might as well make the update, right? Make my life easier. Why not? Alright, so for this next one, I feel like this is more of like a game decision and decisions in terms of what they do with the game. And that would be that I feel like they should really continual update and expand on events and ideas that they've already created. So what I mean by this is that there's kind of some events and some ideas that they've kind of abandoned and just left to sit there and, you know, dry up. So, for example, if you look at Dokkan, an example of this would be the strike events. The strike events, when they first came around, were really cool, really fun. It was really cool seeing these different characters that you started the game with now get a UR Awakening. They look a lot cooler. I feel like it'd be a lot more fun if they added new strike characters. Where's Piccolo Jr.? Where's Piccolo Jr.? He's literally my favorite strike character. Why? Can't even farm that event anymore. So I feel like it'd be cool if they brought back those strike characters and gave them new strike awakenings. And maybe even make like a strike leader, category leader, just to have for fun for, you know, free-to-play events. Because those characters are actually really fun, and the only reason I don't use them is because they're kind of ass and not that great on teams. I mean, granted, for free-to-play stages, yeah, they're kind of good, but even they've been replaced by the Ginyu Force Squad or the Planet Namek Saga Squad, which is kind of sad, because those were really cool events, and I feel like they could expand on it and keep it going, as opposed to just leaving it as is. So, again, in regards to this idea of expanding on things and not letting it die, I'd say the Heroes versus Villains event is something that they could definitely expand on and add more stages and kind of add more functionality to it. Maybe even add new card drops. I mean, Hachiak was kind of cool. Even that SR Mongoloid Dr. Lychee was pretty cool. I feel like they could add a lot of stages. I mean, at this point, I think they've upgraded the stages for the Heroes versus Villains. It's been like, what, 2 or 3 years? I mean, they've done small updates of like 1 or 2 stages for Awakening Medals, but I feel like it'd be really cool to just have an event with new stages, a new boss, or a new card that you could get, and then basically just be able to farm it for certain medals, make it easier to just aggregate stuff to those stages, because for a long time before the Portal of Memories, you would go to the movie bosses or the Movies versus Villains, Heroes versus Villains event and basically get certain awakening medals or get certain items when events weren't around. So I feel like that's something they could definitely expand on and make it better. And at the very least, kind of update it every quarter of a year, maybe twice a year, God forbid. But it seems like it's something that's just going to sit there and unfortunately has not been expanded on. And now, lastly, I think the one thing they should expand upon and add to is quest stages and quest SSRs. So, for example, we have the Int Gohan, who came out a million years ago. And yeah, he's pretty cool, he's pretty awesome, but he has not been given an awakening, he's not been given anything new, it's just been sitting there. So, you know, Battlefield SSRs have kind of overtaken the Gem SSRs, and I feel like that's something they could update, they could add to, and it's not, again, it doesn't have to be every month or every quarter, but like twice a year would be nice if you got a new Gem SSR and new quest stages added. I mean, I'm not saying you have to add anything crazy, but it'd be nice to update it every once in a while. So here we go. This is pretty much the end of the road. Number one, the most annoying thing about this game is that the game will not let you play it for hours on end. And that is because of stamina. The STA requirement in the game. It is really annoying, especially when you're a higher level player. Let's put this in perspective. It takes 5 minutes to reset your STA. Now, when you're a lower level player, you can do an event, you can do something, you can level up, reset your STA. It's not that bad. But once you reach above like level 250, level 300-ish, you know, for perspective, I'm over level 500. So my STA is pretty much, it's a done deal. I'm not leveling up that regularly. And in order to get from 0 STA to 200 STA, it takes about 16 and a half hours. Like, that's ridiculous. You could literally play the game, go to bed, wake up, and half your STA has been refreshed. Like, come on, dude. Like, what is this? Like, you don't want me to play... You want me to play the game on Monday and then come back Wednesday? Like, what is this? So, I feel like they could definitely lower the STA to like 2 minutes, or even get rid of it. Like, yeah, I understand certain game modes like World Tournament kind of require STA to kind of limit people, but for that, hey, make World Tournament STA and everything else no STA. I mean, I think it's gotten to the point for me personally. What I do with Dokkan is that I go and play stages that require STA. I then go do Super Battle Road or some other stage that doesn't require STA, or I just get off the game or play a different game. I mean, lately I've been playing Pokemon Masters on and off, and that game has no STA. I can play that game forever and ever. We could just sit there and catch Pokemon and nuke Pokemon all day if I feel like it. Whereas in Dokkan, they limit you and don't let you. And, you know, every once in a while you get a special event where you have a 3-minute STA, which still is an STA wait. I feel like it's something they could just expand on and just change. It would really let players have a lot more fun and a lot more opportunities to play the game. And you wouldn't have to rush to, like, force in some playtime, because whenever my STA is full, I'm like, fuck, I need to waste some STA so I can get that refresh going. Otherwise, it's kind of like wasted time. But I guess it's kind of like a small update that could go a long way. I mean, it's not a small update. I guess it would be small in terms of no more STA, but it would be a big impact in allowing players to play more and kind of get more out of the game. So that's pretty much the 10 most annoying things I'd say in Dokkan Battle personally. So that is pretty much it. Those are the top 10 most annoying things in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle for me. You know, yeah, a couple of these things are kind of like small updates that if they did it, it would make it easier for the player to kind of interact with the game and figure stuff out. Some of them, I feel like they should really make a difference in terms of like playing the game. I mean, obviously that stamina one, if they actually implemented that, it'd be amazing, because then you wouldn't have to sit there like an asshole and wait a million years just to play the game. But all in all, Dokkan, it's a fun game. It's a cool game. But as you can see, there are some annoying things that are in the game, and I feel like could be and should be updated in order to avoid this pain and suffering. But that is pretty much it. That is the end of the road. If you enjoyed this, I actually made 2 other top 10 videos. One on game bugs, one on secret mechanics of the game. But either way, that is pretty much it. That has been it. Have a blessed day.